Hey guys, how are you? Austin here, and I've got my little buddy Zach. See how I've got Zach miniaturized over there? I've got him like that's. I'm going to keep him in his little corner over there. So this is the software. We were laughing. I'm still laughing because we were trying to go live, and I couldn't get a straight face. So here's what we're going to do. This is a brand new video idea that we're thinking about doing. Okay, so it's myself, Zach Humphries. If you don't know Zach, he's one of my really good friends. I'm going to show you his YouTube channel here in a minute in case you're not familiar with him. But we just recorded a similar video for his channel, but it was completely different content. So let me do real quick shout out. So as I said, this is Zach. So Zach, say hello to everybody.
What is happening, everybody? What's going on?
So this is So this is Zach's channel right here. If you're not familiar with Zach, it's just Zach Humphries. You can see his name is in the yellow at the bottom of the screen, but this is Zach's channel. He and I talk every day. We collaborate. We do a lot of cool stuff together. And so here's the thing. We just recorded a video, put it up on his channel. But the cool thing is it's exactly it's different content. Okay. So you're going to get cross-pollination. You go watch he and I live on his channel, then me and, then he and I live on my channel. It's different content. So we're thinking about doing. So you need to show us that you want us to do this by dropping in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. But we're really here to talk about kind of the overall state of the union and the overall crypto market. So Zach, I got a cougher in a minute, so I'm going to let you take over. What's your thoughts on what's going on in the marketplace today? I know that's kind of a loaded question, so I'm going to take a drink of Coke real quick. What's your thoughts on what's going on?
I'm not panicking, man. I know. I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are freaking out, and I think they have been for the last 2-3 months. Not gonna lie, I got a little, not scared, but a little worried in November, heading into December. But now that I'm, kind of looking at it, kind of from a more, zoomed out perspective, I think we're in an elongated bull cycle, and I think Bitcoin hasn't hit its tops yet, which essentially means altcoins haven't either, and this market's going to go a lot higher. That's the approach I'm taking. I'm buying. I'm buying today. I bought Solana today. I don't know if I bought anything else. I was looking to buy maybe some other things too, but I think I only ended up getting Solana. Good portion though, under 180. Yeah. Love that. So yeah, man, I'm not worried. I like where we're heading, man. Heading into
I know you called me and you pissed me off, but I'm saying that in jest, but he called me. He's like, I'm buying Solana. I'm like, you injecting some new money in because we have similar kind of strike prices on some of our stuff. Like all my money's tied up in Ethereum. And if I want to buy stuff, I got to liquidate right now. Right. And so he's like, I'm just injecting new money in it. I'm like, well, of course you are, but I guess Zach is the smart money. I'm noticed the air quotes. But this is a good time to buy. He knows I'm kidding him. I absolutely am. But I mean, look at this Solana down right now down. Yeah. What'd you buy it at, Zach?
About 178.
Okay, so yeah, you're already in the money. Yeah, sell, give me your profit. Okay, I think Solana below 200 is absolutely a good deal as we talked about. But when Bitcoin came back down below 50,000, I had to say when I woke up this morning, I just went, geez, here we go. It's one of those days. It's going to be in the red, and I have gotten to the point where I kind of don't look at these as really bad days per se. I look at them as bad days for some of our audience because I think a lot of our audience freaks out on days like this. And you and I spend kind of somewhat of a day in what I kind of think of as damage control, i.e. we're making videos to kind of say, hey, here's what we see is happening. Like, for example, in the overall state of the union, like if you're looking at, say, Dogecoin or Saitama or Shiba Inu or insert really anything, Cardano token or coin here, it's not a specific coin or token problem. Wouldn't you agree? It's an overall market condition scenario playing out.
100%. And I've heard a lot of other experts in the field say this. There's just not a lot of institutional money. Raoul Pal, one of the people I also listen to quite a bit. I think he's brilliant. He's been super successful in crypto. We saw the huge rally, right, earlier this year. And what happened there? It was retail money. Remember, everything was, plastered on CNBC and Dogecoin craze and Shiba Inu craze. And I got to get in. It's that whole FOMO effect that we talk about quite a bit. We're just a little removed from that right now. And I think it's just the people really, really into crypto like us and like our audience and the retails, and the institutional side, right? So I think once that retail money comes back, and it's injected back into the market, I think we're going to be off to the races because a lot of these projects have a lot of things coming in 2022 as well.
Yeah, and so to me, there's a that's kind of a double-edged sword, right? I mean, so the guys, to give you some perspective, the demographic makeup of the subscriber base of my channel and of Zach's is very similar. You know, our channels were built, you know, via videos on Saitama and Shiba Inu and you know, other coins and tokens. But so I think you and I have a very unique perspective, Zach, in that we see a lot of new crypto investors coming into our channels specifically versus say other big YouTube channels. And so I actually like that. I think that that gives us a very good barometer of kind of the overall, what I really consider to be retail money, right? Retail investment money. And frankly, new retail investment money, people that are kind of new. And I view that as I don't view that as a bad thing. I view that as a good thing that I and you get to help educate people and trying to help them understand how this game is played. And so in that scenario, I think that one of the main things I love and how we cover this stuff is there's a lot of like, hey, don't freak out. Like as an example, like looking at kind of this market condition, you know, like I did a Shiba Inu video today. I know you do probably similar. You can come in here and go immediately. You can go, hey, look, you know, Shiba Inu's down 10%. And if you were just looking at that view right there, you might immediately go, oh my God, the sky is falling. What's going on wrong with the world? But then you and I have a saying, hey, you know what? Don't just look at it, zoom out. Okay, so zoom out and look at first thing. I teach everybody, look at this line that I just highlighted right here. What's going on in the overall market? Okay, we're down 6.8. That's a big number to be down, right? Then you do a really good job of going into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you're like, hey, look, Bitcoin and Ethereum down 6.8, 6.1. So to me, that's where it kind of brings into play how you should really manage and look at the overall market conditions. And then, yes, ask yourself, hey, is there something inherently broken in Shiba Inu today, in Saitama today? Is there some major bad cataclysmic event? If there's not, it's a market scenario.
Yeah.
You know, so what's your 2 cents on that?
Yeah, I mean, and I really like what you said about new investors. And to me, there's a couple different types of new investors in crypto, right? There are the people who've come from the stock side of things, the stock market side of things, where the volatility is completely different, right? So for crypto to be down 6, 7, 8%, it's another Tuesday. In the stock market, yeah, the sky would be falling, right? I mean, it would just be insane, be madness, right? Yeah. So I think that's a learning curve if you're just coming from the traditional markets into crypto, right? Understanding the volatility. But then you also have the new investor who's coming in who is completely new, right? The millennials, the people who have never invested anything and they've bypassed the traditional stock market because, you know, for whatever reason, they've come to crypto first, and they too need to learn how volatile it is. But again, to your point, and to our point that we say a lot, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at these assets and what they've done over the last year. Take Shiba Inu, for example, right? Take it before May happened. May was the first pop. October was the other pop. It's still amazing yearly gains. And when you zoom out and take that perspective, I think, you could sleep a lot better at night, and you don't panic sell. You don't hit that panic button, like we see so many people do, new to the space.
Well, and I think you said something just now that spurred an idea in me. And it's the other thing that you and I really preach consistently with our respective platforms. It's that, again, going back to this, and it's not a bad thing, going back to the demographic of kind of who consumes our content, who's here watching us now. And I think one of the main things that you and I talk a lot about in our respective private groups is that, you need to kind of decide what type of a crypto investor you are. You and I, at the end of the day, are buy and hold guys. I brought it from 30 years of stock. You brought it from years of the stock investing. I'm not a day trader. I'm not a swing trader. I love those people. I wish my brain was built that way. I got enough stress in my life. I can't do that. Right. Yep. So, but my point is that I think a lot of people, will buy a Shiba Inu or, again, Cardano. It doesn't really even matter, honestly, in this discussion. They'll buy that token or coin and they think, oh my God, I'm getting, especially like a Shiba Inu, they think they're going to get rich in 10 minutes, which you and I have done a lot of videos on. That's not the way it really is. Right. But you've got to have a plan. And to me, the easiest plan to have is buy it buy it and hold it for 3 months, 6 months, add to your bag at different price points. If we get those dips, spend only money you can afford to lose. Not that it's a scam or anything, but because it's an afford to lose. It's an investment. Okay. And beyond that, it's have a profit plan, have a plan in place.
Exactly.
You were telling me the other day about somebody in your group, and he's in my group as well. What was it? What did you say? He puts, what did he say? And if it'll triple, what was that deal?
Oh, like essentially, basically once he gets in, each asset's a little different, right? But he'll say, okay, when this doubles, I'm going to take my initial out. Or when this
no,
triples,
it was triple. It was triple.
Yeah, when this triples, maybe I'll take my initial out and then an additional 30% on top. And I think what you're saying is super important, and not a lot of people do this. And I'll tell you this, I'm not perfect at it either. I don't do this all the time. I try to, though. Have an exit strategy in place before you enter a trade.
Absolutely.
It really takes the emotions out of it, right? So if I enter SHIB today and say I'm going to leave at 0.0001, let's just say, for example, which is about give or take 130% increase from where we are today. Okay. Mm-hmm. But when it reaches that, I'm exiting, whether that's completely or I'm going to take my initial out and exit 30%. And each asset that you get into, if you build some type of plan, keep it on a Word doc and a Google Drive, whatever method you have,
right,
keeps your emotions in check. It allows you to know that, hey, I've got a plan. Okay. It might be down today, up tomorrow, but it's not to my number yet. It's not to that exit strategy point yet to where I want to exit this trade. So I think that really helps. And again, easier said than done. I know some people just, I got to get in. And it's just a quick impulse decision. But I think that's where it comes, your strategy comes, no matter what, hold for a little while, just let it play out, right? Sit back, learn more about the asset before you make any, decisions just kind of on a limb.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really nailed it with the plan takes the emotions out of it. And I do a lot of soothing of feathers, so to speak, in my group. And I know you do as well. Like in times like this, I guarantee you I've got 15 or 20 messages like, oh my God, the sky is falling. Should I sell? And I'm like, no, unless you've got to have the money to pay the rent or to put food on the table, why are you going to sell when you're going to be, and first question, are you upside down? Well, yeah. Then why the hell would you sell?
You don't lose if you don't sell.
You don't lose if you don't sell. Why did you buy it? And so anyway, my point, and I'm not faulting that. I understand what is going on with that. It's just, I think again, it goes back to, if you know that you're going to get into a volatile asset, which most crypto is. I mean, Ethereum is volatile. It's down $3,800. It's less than more, but you get my point. And, you just got to have a plan. And I think the plan takes the emotion. I think emotion is the killer of crypto, in my opinion. It's the killer of crypto profits. There you go. You heard it here first. Emotion is the killer of crypto profits. If somebody puts that on a T-shirt, I want to cut. Okay.
Because of the swings, right? I mean, it'll throw you for a ride, man.
Yeah. I mean, or it's a 5 or 6, 7 day where you're down 5% over 5 or 6, 7 days, when we're on a consolidation phase or the market's being pushed down for whatever reason and things like that. So, hey, we're coming up on 13 minutes. I want to wrap up with a real quick, you and I did a real deep dive in this on the video we put up on your channel, but I want you to talk about a particular analyst that you brought up in the previous video that we did on your channel, which by the way, guys, we're going to talk about this, but we did a much deeper dive on this in the video on Zach's channel. So go check that out if you want a deeper dive on this. But I want to talk about your opinion, Zach, and kind of your enlightenment and to me even on the super cycle that we potentially are in, that the analysts, and I just want you to kind of talk about that. Before you do, I want to set the stage for you with, there's been this speculation, right, that we will enter a quote bear market, a bad bear market or bear cycle, winter, whatever the hell they call it. I've heard like 5 different things to call it. Like we're entering a bearish winter. I don't know what the hell. I'm like, what? The bear's going to go get in the cave and sleep? I don't know. I don't care. I want to make money. Anyway, super winter bear cycle. Whatever. I'm not kidding you. I've heard like 8 different ways to call it. I apologize. I'm digress. There has been this rumor that we are going to enter this by like say March, April. Okay. So I'm going to shut up and let you go because I think you did a really good job of kind of painting a picture for what that could or couldn't be. So go, brother.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll start right there. So the reason why those dates were in place is that would be if history repeats itself. Mm-hmm. If we stay to these cycles that we've seen recently. Now, here's the thing. I mean, when we zoom out, there really hasn't been that many cycles to begin with, number one. right? So to say that, because Bitcoin's relatively new, right? 2012-ish, give or take. So to say that history is going to repeat itself is just kind of going out on a limb altogether, right? I mean, we only have the data we have. So I understand why they're making the conclusions they are. However, this is different. 2021 and 2020 even put both of those together in terms of the adoption that we've seen in crypto in these last 2 years. We've never seen anything like it. Nothing close, right? This was a very insulated place. It still is, right? Considered that only 4% of the
population. Are you talking about? I'm gonna make sure I'm following you. You're talking about adoption on what? You're talking about retail dollars, like you and I. You're talking about institutional dollars. I'm assuming, and you're talking about even like countries adopting it as their as currency, et cetera, right?
100% across.
All that's unprecedented
across the board.
Okay,
yeah, it's unprecedented, especially the retail. But I mean, there's still a lot of big institutions that are eventually going to come in and buy Bitcoin, whether it's Apple or what have you, right? Yeah, man. I mean, with all of that information that we have, right? We've seen this whole thing kind of just go off into a new stratosphere, essentially. Really, I mean,
right.
And basically, that's the reason why people like Benjamin Cowan believe that the 4-year cycle could be over. We could be looking at a year-to-year cycle that changes, something that's very similar to the stock market, where there is no bearish winter, right, or crypto winter. The stock market just ebbs and flows throughout each and every year, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it, right? Of course, it depends on like daily news and daily information and inflation data and all that kind of stuff, right? So he believes that we're heading more toward that as adoption ramps up. And specifically for this cycle, he thinks Bitcoin is not going to top out, at least right now, until late 2022, potentially early to mid 2023. His best guess, he said, is June 2023, Bitcoin's top.
So a year and a half, basically.
Yes.
And what was the number he was talking about Bitcoin topping at that? About $150, 150?
$150 base case, but wouldn't be surprised if we saw 200,000 plus.
Okay, so let me land this plane for the people who are sitting there going, I don't give a damn about Bitcoin. The answer is
you should.
You should. You damn sure. But even if you're never going to own one single penny of Bitcoin, you do care about Bitcoin for one simple reason. Bitcoin and Ethereum lead the market, and where they go, the rest of the market will follow. Drop the mic, walk off the stage, you're done. So if Bitcoin goes to 150,000, you want it to, because it's going to drag along the rest. And the other thing you told me was, what was the overall? He's talking about the overall market cap growing to the overall crypto market's like 2.3-ish trillion dollars right now. Right. And Bitcoin makes up was a trillion. So what is it, about eight? Well, I can look at it. It's 900 billion right now. So
a little less than 40%, I think. And then Ethereum comes into like 20. So together they make up about 60, give or take 60%.
I'm looking at the number. Bitcoin is 902 billion and Ethereum is 453 billion of a 2.3 trillion overall market. So what was the number you said that this particular analyst said that the overall crypto market was going to grow to by that same June 2023 phase?
Benjamin Cowan has been consistent with this too. It's not just he came up with this late 2021. He's been consistent with this all year. He thinks that at the top of the cycle, we're looking in or around a $10 trillion market cap. So essentially 3x plus here.
Yeah, three. Well, don't do math, but yeah, 3.7, whatever that number is. See, that's interesting to me. So, but I want to end on a couple of notes. Number one, I think to me, what I heard you say, and I want to really point out a couple of interesting facts, is number one, the market is not what it used to be. When these analysts in these 4-year cycles, they were all based on these very kind of, how I consider them to be, kind of finite, narrow trading bands that had a very finite amount of people and money and people in the market buying, right? And so now you've got millions and millions and millions more people, just normal people like you and I and the armies of us. And you have institutional money, you have ETF funds, you have either grayscale. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
I always want to say gray score. I don't know why, but the grayscales of the world. And then you have countries that have adopted it as their currency. You have so many new multi-million, $100 million, players and owners. And it's just, the market is it's bigger, but it's more diluted. And there's not as, it just can't, I don't think it can be as pushed around as easily, if you will. Am I saying that the right way?
100%. Yeah, it can't be, I hate this word all the time. I don't like to use it all the time, but manipulated. I mean, that's really it. I mean, it can't be manipulated because there's just more money in it. And I think, another factor too, and kind of, I know we want to wrap this up shortly, but great conversation already. It's like, I wonder, is there also, the aspect of this kind of like hodl culture, right? Where people are okay with buying Cardano at $1.50, throwing it on a ledger and not looking at it for 10 years.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's changed, right?
Yeah,
so you got more long-term holders of this, right?
I mean, look at
for a long time.
Look at you and I. I mean, I think the millennials may be a little bit different. I mean, are you technically a millennial? You're 32. Are you technically a millennial?
I'm right on the cusp. I think I am actually. Yeah. I think
I'm an old fart compared to that, and I'm in 52, so I'm like whatever they call me. I don't know, old guy. Anyway, but I mean, my point to you is that I think even millennials, have like my nephew, he has a crypto channel, and he's definitely a millennial, but he's also a buy and hold guy. But he's a buy and hold guy in crypto. You brought it up earlier. He may buy Apple because he loves Apple, but he's not going to go buy stocks. He's going to buy crypto. And it's almost like, screw you to the big establishment. Crypto is my game, And I think there's a lot of that, man. And I mean, but dude, you said something that was really cool. The hodl thing is something that nobody's talking about. That you might want to write that crap down. The hodl thing is nobody's talking about that in the context of a hedge against a bearish market. Now, we both know if we get a whiff of a significant bear and we start to see that, like, there's going to be a lot of people that are going, holy shit, and they're going to start jumping. We know that will happen, but there will always be a certain percentage that will stay. And then there's going to be, if it does, we'll watch it drop, and we're like, all right, just got to wait. Here we go. And then just put some dry money in, which brings me to we're going to end on this note. We are going to have in a near future, guys, and we're going to have a discussion talking about staking, talking about maybe some risk minimization strategies of
into stable coins.
Even if we're not going into a bear market, there's absolutely, guys, scenarios where you should be staking some stuff because there are some insane rewards out there. In fact, we may do that one tomorrow or something like that. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's all I got. Thanks for your time, brother. Appreciate you.
Always. See you guys.
See you. Bye.